Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is, of course, Terrifying Tuesday, and with Terrifier 3's release date just around the corner, I thought we would take a look at 10 clown-related horror movies you may not have heard of. So let's jump right into it. Alright everybody, with the release of Terrifier 3 just around the corner, I thought it would be cool to look at some other clown horror movies. However, I wanted to do some that you may not have heard of. So here are 10 clown-themed horror movies you may not have heard of. Alright, so with this list of movies that we've chosen today, I wanted to pick some obscure ones, but I'm sure there are some that you will recognize on this list. A few of them are considered cult classics, but I wanted to include those on this list because they are worthy of being here. Because even though a lot of people may have seen them, there are still people who might not have ever heard of these movies as well. I've chosen movies that are both comedy and horror in this list simply because they deserve to be here. At least that's what I think. I hope that you guys agree with my list. But first, I have to tell you, stick around for number 10 because it's out of this world. So coming in at number 1 is Clowns in the Woods. Clowns in the Woods deals with Marcus, a young man with a disability who is bullied. He, of course, is then pranked by the girl that he likes and her friends. Now, in true horror fashion, he's gonna get revenge. But here's the catch. He runs out in the middle of the street and dies. He wakes up in the woods basically surrounded by clowns who then tell him they can help him. At which point, he actually starts to dress up like a clown and starts to go after these people with the help of these other clowns. It's a whole thing that happens. Now, the movie also features people with real disabilities, and for that, it earns my respect. If you're going to use the disability thing, actually have the people with these disabilities playing them. And they treat them at least somewhat respectful in this movie as well. So that is a plus for this movie. It's also a very interesting premise to this movie. It has a bit of gore, and it tries to be funny at times. You could actually do a lot worse than this movie. I do recommend you check it out. Coming in at number 2 on our list is Fear of Clowns, a 2004 movie about an artist with a fear of clowns. Now, she is being stalked by a murderous clown who looks like one that she actually paints. The movie tries to take itself a lot more serious than the last movie. It's a smart movie with a smart premise, and it has its moments of true terrifying things happen to this girl, because if you're afraid of clowns, you might actually be really terrified of this movie as well. Now, Fear of Clowns actually got a sequel in 2007 called Fear of Clowns 2. So it was good enough to get a sequel. The movie is one that if you are afraid of clowns, you might actually find something to be really terrified of in this movie. So I do recommend you check it out. Next up on our list is Clowntergeist, a 2017 film about a college student named Emma, who, surprise, surprise, just like in the previous entry, is terrified of clowns. Well, she comes face to face with her own fear when an evil spirit in the body of a clown starts terrorizing her town. But it does have some scary moments. It is kind of one of those things that is okay to watch because it knows what it is. And it definitely has fun with it. The title should tell you everything you need to know about this movie. So coming in at number 4 on our list is Drive-Thru, a 2007 horror comedy. In Drive-Thru, you have Hella Burger, which is this burger restaurant, this little burger chain or whatever, And it has a mascot, Horny the Clown. Now, Horny the Clown goes on a rampage and starts killing people. And the clown itself is pretty cool. He has a speaker for a mouth, and it's pretty awesome. However, what happens here is that we kind of get the beginning, and then we don't hear anything else about the restaurant for a little while. It's just him going killing people, but it all ties together in one nice big story where it does interconnect, and there is a reason for everything that happens. So for that reason, I do recommend you check this one out. It seemed like this wanted to be a franchise that never really took off. It is worthy for having a couple people you might recognize, so there's that as well. Coming in at number 5 is The Clown at Midnight. It is a 1998 film about 7 students who are stalked by a murderous clown while refurbishing an old opera house. You actually get a clown that is killing people who are refurbishing an opera house, and that is very interesting, and the cast is actually pretty good too. You could find yourself enjoying this movie strictly for the cast that is in it, and the cast of this movie does consist of some pretty recognizable faces. So if you find yourself liking the cast of this movie, it's highly possible that this becomes one of your favorite movies of all time. A movie that you can watch over and over again and really enjoy. It's definitely a strange movie. And I actually found this movie to be really interesting for the premise that it has. If you've ever wanted a clown in an opera house who's murdering people, this movie is for you. You could do a lot worse than that one as well. Coming in at number 6 is Gags the Clown, a 2018 movie. That's a found footage movie about an unidentified man in Green Bay, Wisconsin, wandering the streets as a clown. And many of the people think it's a prank, but all of a sudden there's imitators, all this stuff's going on. Is it more supernatural than it looks? This is a found footage movie, and it works really well for a found footage movie. I actually found myself enjoying this movie, and I don't enjoy found footage movies that much. I always feel that found footage movies can come across more cheesy than an actual movie where we're just watching the action. But in this one, where you were kind of getting the different camera angles and the different things, it presents itself as really utterly terrifying at times, and I really think it worked out well. This movie is terrifying. It really does deliver at times, and it has enough gore where the gore hounds are probably going to be satisfied. Alright, so coming in at number 7 on our list is Clown from 2014. Clown tells the story of a father who finds a clown suit for his son's birthday when the clown doesn't show up, only to find out that the clown makeup that he chooses actually is that of a demon, and he cannot take it off, except if he is decapitated. Now, it is an interesting movie, and it is kind of a bit scary. It's not as scary as even some of the other movies on this list so far. What it does have is a very unique story, and one that you might actually find fascinating if you give it a chance. I do highly recommend this movie. It's quite different from the other movies on this list, and probably one of the more interesting clown movies you could watch. So check it out. Coming in at number 8 on our list is Stitches. And Stitches is a 2012 film about a clown who is pranked by some spoiled brats whose party he's supposed to be performing at, only to result in his death. So he comes back for revenge. Now, this movie is interesting. It's nothing you haven't seen before, but it is presented in a unique way, I guess. It is an awesome movie to watch. It does have a bit of gore. It does have a bit of comedy in it. And it is one that you might actually find enjoyable and you might be afraid of if you are afraid of clowns. So definitely do check it out. You could do worse than this movie. Coming in at our number 9 spot is the one and only Killjoy from 2000. Now, Killjoy is a 2000 film that actually has a completely unique look to it. It was done for a low budget, and it kind of involves the usual revenge plot. Somebody dies, and then a clown comes back and takes revenge. And it is kind of unique. I highly recommend this one. It spawned a lot of sequels. The sequels got zany and crazy, and it's all sorts of fun. So you could do worse than this movie and all of its sequels, because the sequels really do get out there. Now, that being said, last up on our list, of course, is the one and only Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I told you to stick around until the last movie because it was out of this world, and that is exactly what it is. It's out of this world. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is a 1988 film about aliens that look like clowns that come to Earth and terrorize a small town. Now, it is treated as complete and utter comedy. However, there are some things to actually realize about this movie. It was made on a very low budget. It performed very kind of, I guess, not well. But it has become a cult classic and a well-deserved one at that. The movie itself actually stars a young Christopher Titus, and I believe we've talked about this on this channel before, but this movie is one of my guilty pleasures in terms of clown movies that you could watch. It's unique, it's original, and it is quite funny at times. Not only is it funny and unique, but it also has its moments where if you actually think about it, it presents you with some pretty terrifying things as well. So that is our 10 clown horror movies that you could be watching that maybe you didn't know about. So what I want to know from you guys is, have you heard of any of these? What did you think about them? Did you enjoy them? Did you hate them? Is there any clown movies I missed on this list that you think should have been on this list? Definitely let me know. As always, we definitely want to hear from you guys, so make sure you are leaving us that comment in the comment box below, letting us know what you think. Then don't forget to share this video with all of your friends. They're definitely going to want to be a part of this crazy conversation. Make sure you hit that like button. It's free, it helps the channel, and we really do appreciate it. Then Miko says we need more subscribers, and look at this face. You don't want to disappoint Miko. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell while you're down there so you don't miss a single video. We are almost to 1,000 subscribers, so let's make that happen. And then at the end of the day, friends, I know it, you know it, and Miko knows it. Fandom is family.